Good afternoon, everybody. It's Naomi from the Apocalyptic Knitter podcast, and welcome. This is episode 17, coming to you on Saturday, the 4th of May. I don't know how we got to May, but it's one of my best friend's birthday is today, so happy birthday, Philippa, if you're watching. And a new month means a new calendar. So there is the picture there. I made it out. In a world so still, where the streets lie bare, a knitter finds solace in the open air. With a mask on her face and yarn in her lap, she stitches through silence, bridging the gap. Around her the town in quiet stands, she knits for the warmth of absent hands. Through the pandemic's long, shadowed night, her needles click on, a beacon of light. There we go. I absolutely adore this calendar. I don't know what I'm going to do when it gets to the end of the year. I might have to get him to make me another one. Just stick that back on there. Well, it feels like a lot longer than 2 weeks. I think it might have even been 3 weeks since I last podcasted. I was hoping to podcast before I went to Edinburgh to kind of let you have a bit of a before and after and let you know where I got up to with stuff and what my plans were, but work and study has just been taking up so much of my mental headspace, so I thought I'll just wait until I'm in a bit of a better frame of mind, and there we go. So this is, as you've probably gathered, a knitting podcast. I also do a bit of crochet, but I've not picked it up for a little while, but one day I will. You can find me on Instagram as Naomi Knits or on Ravelry as Big Bird, B-I-G-G, Big Bird. So how have you been? Been good? Yeah? Sure? I hope you're all keeping well. I'm still up and down. I had a good couple of weeks where I thought, oh, is this me studying? And then I've had a couple of wobbly days again. So, hey ho. I've spoken to the doctor who's trying to get a second opinion because they feel like there's two medications that I'm on that they're not sure if they like each other, which might be why I'm having these issues. So it's good to know I'm not going bananas. But today is a good day, although I'm not tired, sorry. It's a 3-day weekend and I get an extra day to do some studying. So I've had a really good day. My assignment's not due until next weekend. But I want to try and get in a really good position with it this weekend, so then I'm not like at the final hurdle. So I've done about 5 or 6 hours worth of it today, which is really good. As I say, it can be it's Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply, so it's quite a dry subject really. So my little mind likes to wander, and it shouldn't be wandering, but we're doing okay. I feel like I'm on the home stretch, so I thought, oh, and I finished and it was 4:30 and I've done some housework, and I thought I'm gonna do tea, do a quick podcast, and then I'm gonna settle down in my pyjamas for about 7:30, 8 o'clock and watch a couple of films. So that just feels like bliss to me. And I do apologise, I'm next to the room under the stairs where the dryer is, so you might hear the odd little noise. The living room's just seeming very gloomy at the moment, and I feel like I wasn't at the right posture for stuff, so I just thought I'll see what it's like working in the kitchen, and I was next to the calendar as well. Anyway, 5 minutes of me waffling. So, oh my goodness me, Edinburgh was so much fun. So I went with some friends who we've been friends with absolutely years. I think I worked out, we've been friends for about 14 years, because we'd all like got together and met through Gumtree, and I think it was wasn't long before I got pregnant with my son, who is now 13 and a quarter. So yeah, so at least 14 years we've been friends. So it was really good to kind of all get together, which we kind of do every other year. Find somewhere. It's usually in coincides with a wool festival. I'll be brutally honest with you, but it was really good fun. So we got there on the Thursday, which isn't it really good fun when you take a couple of days off work and then you're just doing your thing. It's like, so yeah, so we went up to Edinburgh on the Thursday. We got there about midday, and we weren't booking into the accommodation just yet, so we did a bit of sightseeing on the hop on hop off buses, or otherwise known as the ho-ho buses, which was really good fun. Had a bit of a chilled evening because everybody was tired from travelling. And on the main day, which was the Friday, every day felt like a Saturday. For the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but yeah, every day felt like a Saturday. It was the Woolly Good Edinburgh Yarn Festival show. This was like their first year. It was a what was it? I've written it down. It was a Kickstarter event, and it was held at the Summer Hall, which is like a really nice arts venue. It kind of had like a little bit of a school vibe. It might have been a school, a private school. I don't know. I didn't read up on anything, but there's lots of like arts exhibitions, like kind of what you see there. So lots of all these like different rooms, different levels. It all kind of surrounded like an outside courtyard where there was like a pizza van. There was somebody selling coffee and really nice sandwich cookies. And some is it bao buns? Sorry, I can't pronounce them. It was my first attempt at having a first experience of a bao bun. Yeah, quite alright. I wasn't quite sure how I would go with the steamed bread texture, but so I should have said we also went to see Camera Obscura the day before, which was really so much fun. It's one of those like illusion places where you just like all different things to like see, experiment, playing with lights and all different illusions, which is really, really funny. So yeah, so I wanted to go with a bit of a plan to this festival, because on my so I made myself a hot chocolate. I'm a bit teed out today. You know, you just drank too much tea, which isn't usually a bad thing. And so I'm having a hot chocolate. Knitting keeps me from unravelling. It bloody does, I tell you. Oh, that's nice. So yeah, I wanted to go with a bit of a plan. As my stash at the moment, like 90% of it is just single skeins. Does that sound familiar? And I kind of wanted to kind of buy with something in mind, and I had a couple of items in mind that I wanted. I've got like next to zero DK in my stash. Most of my stash is just like 4-ply, but obviously these meds, it's giving me hot flushes, so I think 4-plies are quite agreeing with me at the moment. There's one jumper that I wear an awful lot of, like quite unexpectedly. It's like one of my go-to ones here, which is this one. And that's the Exposure Top by Julie, Knits in Paris. Now I've had this about 4 or 5 years, maybe more, and I wear this like all the time, just with like a nice long sleeved t-shirt, and put it on because it's not too, it doesn't overheat you, kind of thing. Just keeps your trunk warm, as they say. But with that being really like super bright, I kind of wanted to see if I can get something that was a bit more neutral. And the good thing about it is it took 2 skeins of the pink and about 60 grams of the contrast. So I thought, well, I can just buy a couple of skeins. Now the vendor that I had in mind was Zakami Yarns, because I follow their account on Instagram, and also when I've seen them at another show, I've seen them when I've run out of money, and you're like, oh, I really like this and I really like that, I really like the other. So I thought, right, one day. So I'd planned it with thinking I'm going to hit them first and that. But when we arrived there, it was, I mean, none of us like knew what to expect. There was a long queue, but it was moving quickly, which is really, so it was really well organised in that sense. But I kind of felt like when we got there was like that initial rush of people, and it was just a bit too much for me and the others. And I thought, do you know what, we'll just sit outside. So we sat outside and just had a cup of tea, bit of lunch and all that. A cup of tea, did I have a cup of tea? I think I had a glass of pot, I can't remember what I had. And I thought we'll just wait for that initial rush to kind of go past and like peter out a bit. Which we did, and then when I went back, I went to Zakami Yarns, and there wasn't anything there that kind of spoke to me, so I was a bit deflated, not with the vendor, because I say her stuff is beautiful, but she didn't have any of the colours that I'd kind of was looking for, was hoping for. But I thought it's not going to put me off, because I thought I can order from them any time. But I didn't want to just buy some, like a colourway that wasn't me, just for feeling like, oh no, I've promised myself I'm going to go to that vendor and all that kind of stuff. So I was a little bit like in a quandary, and I didn't quite know what to do. And in my mind, I don't know what kind of colours I had in my mind. I don't know if I was thinking of like because when you think of neutral, you think of like beige and greys and all that kind of thing. So I was kind of looking for that, and there was just nothing that was like speaking to me. So I was in a little bit of a twist with myself. Another thing that I really wanted was, I've been eyeing up So Yarnalicious. So it's a lady that makes, she just dyes a bit of yarn, and she also makes these bags. Now, although they are a little bit on the spendy side, they are really well made, and you can kind of tell the like the quality of them. Oh my god! Look at that! It's a tote bag, and let's get a little zip. And so this bit here is a drawstring, and I think when I first went to the stall, it was just like far too busy, and I didn't want to just make any purchase and then get out of there. I wanted to take the time, and then I was all like, if I come back later, they're all gonna be gone. But anyway, the first one I tried off at was a bit too big, but then I went back and I got this slightly sized down. And then, but yeah, I absolutely love it. I feel like it can fit quite a lot in, so it can be used for like shopping, for knitting, overnight bag. I have absolutely no doubt about that. So what yarn did I buy? Oh my goodness me, there's one skein upstairs. I'll have to I don't know if I might have one missing. I might have to show you it next time. But anyway, the first skein that I bought was from the For the Love of Yarn. Have I got it there? Don't think I have. Oh, sorry. And I picked up the skein, and it was like the bottom of it, as I call it, the bum of the skein was like grey and red, and I thought, oh, they're not nice together. Oh, they're not nice together. And you know when you take the skein out and it has like these blocks of colour, I thought, oh, that's going to knit up like a microstripe, and it was like red, grey and white. And then I looked at the colourway name and it was tunics. I thought, yeah, that's coming home with me. Oh god, I'm really disappointed. I've got all these bags around me with everything else except that. Anyway, there's more things going on in the world than that, really, isn't there? So I bought that one, and that I thought that's going to be my impulse buy, and I said to myself, do not end up getting single skeins again. It's not going to be one of those ones. So I went to a stall called the Wool Chemist, and I was kind of, you do that thing where you're just kind of half following your friends and see what they're getting, and you thought, I'll just see if there's anything that catches my eye. It did. Look at that. That is quite an accurate colour, that, actually. Can you see how like some is like almost on the verge of black? And it's just like a very rich navy. And it is called Shelob's Lair, which somebody said it was I think it's a reference to Lord of the Rings, is it? Oh, so it's merino. It's a merino 4-ply, 100% merino wool, 400 meters, which is your standard there. So I initially got 2, and I was looking for a contrast to go with it, and I didn't know every lighter contrast that I put against it, I wasn't sure if it would go with it, and all that. So I thought I'll just get 2, because sometimes you get the contrast colour a few months down the line, don't you, kind of thing, and something will come up and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, that'll do. So I got those 2, very happy with them. Chatting to the lady about what I was going to make with it, because I said, oh, this top that I'm wearing here, because I was wearing the exposure top. Yeah, I'm going to do another one of these in more of a neutral. Oh, it's going to look like, oh, no, it will, thank you so much. Oh, all that kind of stuff. Another garment knit that was on my list to do was the radiator sweater, and it's a DK, and I thought, I don't have a DK. My initial thoughts was I was going to buy one of the grease cones from JC Rennie, which has come from a recommendation from the Happy Knitting podcast. So she's not affiliated with it, she makes that quite clear, and I thought, oh, it looks like I could use something held double and all that. I wouldn't mind making one of these. Well, that plan went out the window. So next I went to Third Bolt Yarns, and I wanted the, on the radiate colour, it's got it's by Johi Locatelli, and it's got like a really nice brioche effect, but it's not brioche, yoke. And I've got these, which are DK minis, and they could kind of fade, possibly. I thought, oh yeah, they would look nice, and then I could do like, I don't know what one I was thinking of doing, but I thought, oh yeah, I could, oh, something's unravelling there. That could be my contrast on that. Yep, another little tick off, beautiful. And it was at that point that I also went to So You're Delicious, and I think got my bag, and the vendor there was making a sweater that my friend from our group, Steph, had been working on. You know, the like at the apartment, you thought, oh, what are you working on? Oh, working on this. Oh, that's nice. And it was a second one. So I know that she'd spoken about the pattern. It was and she'd mentioned that she really enjoyed the construction of it, and it was great to wear and all this kind of stuff. And then I had somebody else, so seeing it in a different colour and that as well, and a different size, different positive ease and all that kind of thing. And I thought, I really like that. And she was wearing it in like a dark grey, like a solid, semi-solid colour. And I thought, do you know what? I thought, I'm wondering whether to make a good line sweater out of this yarn. So I went back, and I'm taking this as a sign because the stall holder said that she only had 5 skeins, and she doesn't normally have that. And I figured that I'm hoping this will be enough. It should be, because whenever I do 4-ply jumpers for myself, it's about 4 skeins. So I've got those, so that's going to make a thing. And then I was all like, all right, okay, that's enough purchases for one day. So we came back to, I know anybody that knows me knows that I'm not like that. So we went back to like the cafe, had a bit of a regroup, and we were seeing discussing what we had bought and all that kind of thing. And a couple of my friends are kind of come back with like yarn babies, as you call them, like armfuls of like a sweater quantity of like really beautiful colours. I think Steph got one, and it was like a really nice turquoise blue that was gorgeous. And Jenny had got like a rich purple. We were like, oh, where'd you get that one from? She said Ripples Craft Yarns. I thought, oh, I've not really seen them. I thought, oh, let me just do one last sweep. So I went to Ripple Craft store. Now, also, there's a jumper that, when we were discussing this, there's a jumper that I wear, and I wear the heck out of it. And it's in like a really magenta hot pink. And then more of a magenta pink, like a dark but bright pink. And the pattern is by, I was going to say Curious Stitches, but she's changed her name. I think it's Ellie's Yarn Company now, ELLY, Ellie's Yarn Company. And it was the, it's not the Athame, it's the Athama sweater. Yes, got it right. And I really like the knit. I really enjoyed the knit. I really liked the way how the sleeves are worked. And the only thing that disappointed it for me was my fault. Nothing to do with the pattern. It was the wool choice that I used. It was like quite an acrylic-y yarn that was kind of split, and I'm noticing little bits of pilling, but it's such a comfy jumper to wear. And it made me think that actually I do really, I've had quite a lot of compliments in it, that the colour suits me and all the shaping and everything. So I got this, or I got a sweater's quantity of this. How lovely is that? This is it is called Kulkine DK Berry Crush Smoothie on BFL. So I got, now there was another one, it was not slightly cheaper, that wasn't the reason why. There's another base that she had, another DK base, I can't remember it for the life of me, but the way that the dye saturated it kind of had like an almost metallic-y colour, and it was that I thought, oh my goodness me, but I didn't realise that they were all mixed in together. So when I looked at the labels to just check that one wasn't Aran or 4-ply, I noticed they had different names. Now the one that's ever so slightly preferred, there was only 4 skeins and not 5. I think I had 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've got a 5. So this, I'm going to do my radiate out of this. I'm not sure if they will contrast with it. However, these may have a different purpose in life. I wondered if I had any leftover of this, could I double strand it and that could be the contrast. So there's thoughts there, but this is definitely the body colour because I thought I know that I will get wear out of it and I'll really enjoy it. So yes, I felt a little bit full up of yarn after that. But in my defence, I have not been for 4 months. Well, not so much that I've actually used up more than I've bought. So I actually used up like something like 1.7 kilos of my stash this year. I know. So I was just basically running out anyway, wasn't I? So I'm putting it all in my bag. I worked out you can fit 13 skeins in this bag. That's all you need for a going away bag, isn't it? Got me wool. Don't need anything else. So that was all my acquisitions on there. So what I've got now, finished objects. I feel like I've done an awful lot of stuff, but I haven't really finished anything. I think that's why my head is just a bit boggy at the moment. So I'm hoping to achieve finishing something this weekend, so I'll come back to that in a minute. I finished my sock blank zombie socks. That's number 1. Flip it to the red, that's number 2. So this was like a gradient blanket. My cat is here. Would you like to say hello to everybody? She's like, nope. I'll try and grab her for you in a minute. So these are done. There was about 40 grams left of the sock blank, so I have casted on some little anklets for the daughter, and I've almost finished the first one. I've not temporarily lost it. I've just spotted it in my handbag. In my little grey girl. Grey girl here. Look. Ta-da! Oh my god. Oh, look at that! I've dropped all my stitches. Oh no! Oh my gosh. Look at that. So she's only a size 4, the daughter. You have to bear with me a second. I'm sorry. I'm just going to rescue these stitches. If you can all just talk amongst yourselves. Oh, I'm sure you forgive me. I am nearly there. Oh, right. So yeah, so I've done the heel. It's very similar to the City Roller socks, but I've just made my own pattern up. I do my top heel. I'll do a fish lips kiss heel, and then I do about 5, 6, 7, 8 rows of plain stockinette, and then I just do a 2x2 rib for about 6 rounds, and then I just do a load of stockinette, enough until it starts to curl over. So, and then I still have that amount of yarn left, which I'm hoping it's not yarn chicken after all that. If it is, I do have remnants of another red and black sock yarn, so I might see how it goes on there. So that would be really good if I can use all that up, and then they've got like a mother-daughter pair of socks each then, haven't they? That'd be really nice. My other commuting knitting that I've been doing, and I have just been needing this plain little bit of knitting, I can tell you that much, is some lovely stripy socks for my mother-in-law. Chris, hello if you're watching. That was a little bit of a progress keeper there. I don't know where I'm up to on this one. I don't think it's... I'll have to check because it looks like I'm almost ready for the heel. I think these are 2.5mm needles. They just feel a little bit more thicker. But my other ones are I tend to go to 2.25. I just feel like that gives a finer fabric. But I think the project that has been draining me, not draining me because I'm nearly there, it's been a marathon. It has been a slog. This is the 24 Birds Mystery Knit Along by Curious Handmade. I'm not worrying about spoiler alert, to be honest with you, because I think everybody's ahead of me and finished anyway. I'm plodding along with clue 6. And I think I've got about 10 rows to go, so I'm not going to say I want to finish it tonight because my priority this weekend is my assignment kind of thing. So I'm hoping to get it done for the entire weekend. I can't wait to show you it. I can't show you it in its full size at the moment because it's got a bit of a droopy belly here because of the cable. But that is the centre of it. And then fades into the purple and the red, and then we're just fading back out now, and I'm on this last border. So yes, I think I've got like 10 rows to do now. But it's good because all the rows have kind of been different all the way throughout the pattern, and then this last little section is a two row repeat. So it's like, oh, thank goodness me. So I think I worked out, because it takes me about 35 minutes per row, and I worked out that I had about 8.5 hours worth left to do. So there we go. What did I cast? I casted on some things. Oh no, that wasn't it. I cast on in Edinburgh I've not put it in the bag. I have to do it as a show and tell for next time. I cast on a side hustle cuff. And I do not have I don't have it. It wasn't in the project bag that I thought it was. But I used this gorgeous, really dark purple. And I found some scraps of Snuggly Stars Minecraft Creeper colourway, which is like a really neon green with bits of black, and it's for my cousin who's about 13, he's Minecraft mad, and I did him some socks in this purple because he really liked him. I think the purple is from Wool Mouse, and the neon green really goes with it really well, so I'm really happy with them. As a family, they do a lot of what do you call it, wild swimming and things like that. So I thought having some nice gloves when you come straight out of the water, when you got your the brain fog is real today. So when you got your overcoat on, it's not your overcoat. You got like those, like they're like a towel and a coat. I can't remember what they're called. Oh. So I think I'm gonna finish the big shawl, finish the anklet, the sock, if I could get those done this weekend, that'd be amazing. And then I've got loads of little bits. I feel like I'm a bit knitting, but they're just loads of little things. I've got 3 pairs of side hustle cuffs to do, but they're really quite quick, so I know that they won't take long. And I've got 2 little baby hats to do. One baby is about 6 weeks old now. Sorry, Rachel. And another baby at work is due in August. So same again, baby hats don't take long. So I kind of feel like once that's out of the way, I can start my jumpers and that as well then. One thing I've got coming up in the pipeline, I've not brought it in because I don't feel like there's anything worth showing at the moment, is when I went at Edinburgh, I had the headspace to work out size, cast on stitches, tension square, everything for my Gansey sweater. Even more super proud of myself. I wasn't been out for 10-minute huff and puff. It was the cast on, the traditional cast on is like a knotted cast on, and it's a bit like the long tail cast on, but it's a triple strand, and you knot each stitch. And I thought, oh my God, it's going to take me hours just to do the cast on, and I have 350 or thereabouts stitches to cast on. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna, yeah, I wasn't happy, and I was like, we were discussing it, so, well, what's the benefit of it? Do I just do like a normal one? And I think it's got a stretchy cast on to it. Well, you want to come and say hello? Oh no, she won't let me pick her up. Can't see her. I do have a cat, honestly. If she comes up and jumps on my knee, she might do. But they said if it's knotted with triple strand along the edge, my philosophy is that these Gansey sweaters are meant to test the time, aren't they? Meant to set the test of time, or whatever you call it. And it will take a good 6 to 12 months to make the jumper, but it will last, I believe it'll last 40 years, 50 years, if I'm honest. And what goes, when I did the repair work on an Aran jumper, what went was the edge of the hem and the edges. So I wonder if doing that knotted cast on just really gives that reinforcement. So there we go. So I'm not casted them all on. I think I casted about 200. So I think I need to get all the stitches casted on, join it in the round, and then once you've done once I've done about 10 rows of it, I'll bring it on and show you. Whereas at the minute it's like, here you go, here's this little cast on edge on there. So there we go. I might be knitting another one for somebody at work. I don't know yet. It'll be a commission job. We've just been having a good conversation about the history of the Gansey sweater, and it was just nice, having that conversation with somebody that really gets it and appreciates like the skill and stuff like that. And yeah, we were also talking, I mean, this can be my little budget thing, is we were talking, I mean, my Gansey sweater they're making for me, obviously it's my labour that goes into it, but the cost for it is £60. If I take on the commission for this other jumper, it can be, quite frankly, a few £100 for somebody to buy one. I think they've been quoted like £400 or £500. Now, to a non-knitter and other people, or even to knitters as well, I'm thinking that's absolutely, extortionate amount of money for one jumper. But then we're talking about it thinking, but is it though? Because if I bought a jumper from a well-known high street, a credit jumper or whatever, I could spend £40-50, right? And so I know you get like the fast fashion, like Primark, whatever, you can buy a jumper for like £10. How long will it last? 5 years tops, not even that. I think 5 years has probably been a bit generous, but like if like a good quality like Marks and Spencer's, probably still 5 years, maybe 7 or 8 if you know you really like cared for it. These Ganseys and like the traditional style sweaters are like the history of them. They can last, I believe that they'll last 50 years. I think it'll outlive, you know, it could be something that you could pass on to somebody, and that absolutely fascinates me. I thought that in itself will save you money in the long run. Obviously, it's also saving the planet. When I did the repair on the Aran jumper for a lady at work a few years back, and she said, "Oh, do you knit?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "I've got a real like fisherman Aran jumper that was my granddad's," and she says, "It's just, I wondered if you could repair it for my daughter who's going off to university. She absolutely loves it, but it looks a little bit, you know." And I did a repair and just did a little bit of a lace trim because I couldn't use the original wool. Whatever wool that I would have got wouldn't have been the same. But we worked out, other than a little bit of like fraying around the edges and the cuffs and all that, it wasn't bobbled in any way. It wasn't felted. It wasn't matted. It wasn't bad at all. I was able to unpick the wool and slightly tink it back. It was in that good condition, and we worked out it was 70 years old. 70 years old. So I thought, if I had a jumper that I made, I could be effectively gifting it to my granddaughter. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, that just blows my mind. So that's what I will be telling myself when I work for 10 hours on it. And I've done that much. I think what I will do, because I'll be curious to see, I want to tally up how many hours of knitting it takes, because I'll be curious to see. And also for myself, it's very rare that I can find clothes from a shop that fit me, because I'm a woman that is over 6 foot, and I don't usually get clothes that fit me in the sleeve. This is quite a rarity. Thank you, Marks and Spencer's. So yeah, so that is my plan, and it is part of my apocalyptic plans, my apocalyptic layette, or whatever you call it. What's the word when you've got like is it a layette when you have all like different key items that you need? I don't know. So there we go. Right, I've been whittering on for 45 minutes. If you got this far, thank you so much for joining me. And I've also had a little bit of a flurry of some new subscribers. I should have said this at the start. So if that is yourself, thank you so much and welcome. All are welcome here. Whether you're a knitter or a non-knitter or just somebody to have a chat with and a cup of tea, that's more than welcome. If you're a returning viewer, thank you again for bearing with me, warts and all. And I will see you soon. Hopefully be no longer than 2 weeks' time. And I will have got this blooming assignment out of the way. But until then, look after yourself and remember to be kind to yourself and just take some chill time. and enjoy the sunshine when it is here. Okay, take care for now.